Get ready, folks, because we're diving into a project that's absolutely massive, something that could completely change Ohio's economy and even the future of how defense manufacturing works in the U.S.
Sounds intriguing.
It is. We're talking about Anduril Industries.
A California-based defense tech company, right?
Exactly. And they're setting up a huge operation in Ohio.
Huge how?
Think Arsenal 1, a 5 million square foot facility on a 500-acre site right by Rickenbacker International Airport.
Wow, that's serious. But I guess it's not just about the size.
You got it. Anduril's all about combining cutting-edge software and AI with large-scale manufacturing.
So they're not just making weapons.
Nope, they're building a whole system, like an ecosystem that's designed to change and adapt as quickly as modern warfare itself.
That's smart, because the defense industry has a bit of a reputation
For being slow and clunky.
Yeah, exactly. But Anduril's talking about hyperscaling, which is really changing things up.
Right, hyperscaling. It's all about using software and automation to make production incredibly fast and flexible.
So imagine designing, testing, and deploying new defense tech really, really quickly, being able to respond to threats instantly.
That's exactly the potential Anduril's bringing to the table, and Ohio is about to become the heart of it all.
And Ohio's going to benefit in a huge way, not just in terms of technology, but economically too.
We're talking 4,000 direct jobs, the biggest job creation project in Ohio's history.
Wow.
Plus, another 4,500 indirect jobs are expected to pop up because of it.
The impact on the economy is going to be massive, adding almost $1 billion to Ohio's GDP.
And over $2 billion in annual economic output.
This is huge, a real game changer. And it's all happening as Ohio's becoming a new Silicon corridor.
Like with Intel investing $20 billion in a chip factory.
And Honda and LG's $3.5 billion battery plant. Plus, Ohio State University put $110 million into a software innovation center.
So Ohio's putting itself right at the front of the line for technological innovation, and Anduril choosing to put their main facility there proves it. But why Ohio? What made it the winner?
Well, a lot of things came together to make Ohio the perfect choice for Anduril. The state has a business-friendly environment, a solid manufacturing base already in place, skilled workers, and a history of supporting military and federal initiatives. All the right ingredients for a company looking to revolutionize things.
And you can't forget the network of job training centers, colleges, and universities, all ready to supply talent to this facility.
Ohio's really invested in building a support system for advanced manufacturing, and Anduril sees that.
And the state's going all out to welcome them.
Definitely. There's the Job Creation Tax Credit, a $70 million grant from the All Ohio Future Fund, and a big Jobs Ohio grant, too. That kind of support really shows how serious the state is about making this project succeed.
It's really exciting for Ohio and for the future of U.S. defense manufacturing. This project could completely reshape industries, create thousands of jobs, and make Ohio a leader in technological innovation. And before we get even deeper into the details of Anduril's technology and vision, we want to remind you to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more in-depth discussions on all the important things happening in our world.
With the groundwork laid, let's really explore what makes Anduril's approach unique and what kind of impact this project could have on Ohio, the U.S., and the future of defense technology. It's really interesting how Anduril isn't just focusing on the weapons themselves.
Right, it's more than that.
Yeah, they're building a whole ecosystem. Their whole way of manufacturing is totally different from what the traditional defense industry does.
So what makes their ecosystem unique?
They're bringing in all this advanced stuff, software, AI, automation into every single step of how they make things.
Okay, so they can build things faster, I get that. But what else?
It lets them be much more flexible and innovative, constantly adapting. And that's really important now with how quickly technology changes.
Makes sense. It's all about being agile, right? Responding to threats that are constantly evolving.
Exactly. Anduril wants to rebuild the arsenal. That's their term for U.S. military weapons and platforms, but with a modern approach.
So no more relying on those old, slow production lines.
Nope, they're all about hyperscaling manufacturing using advanced software and production technologies.
Could you explain hyperscaling a bit more? Some folks might not be familiar with it.
Sure. Imagine being able to quickly scale up production to meet demand, using software to optimize every single step of the process.
Interesting. So instead of those fixed assembly lines, they use
flexible, modular systems. You can reconfigure them on the fly. Kind of like building with Legos, you use the same basic pieces to create different things.
I see. So it's adaptable.
Exactly. It allows for really fast prototyping, testing, and deploying new technologies.
So they're not just building weapons. They're creating a system where everything's connected, sharing data, learning, and constantly improving.
Right. Anduril's really pushing the limits in defense technology.
Like with their autonomous system.
Yeah. Those can operate on their own, using AI to make decisions in real time.
Wow. That's a huge change in how we think about warfare. And they're bringing all this to Ohio. What kind of long-term effect could this have?
Well, think about it this way. Anduril could be a trigger for a much bigger transformation in Ohio.
Because it already has that strong base in manufacturing.
Yeah, this project could draw in more high-tech companies, skilled workers, and create a cycle of growth and innovation.
So it's not just about Anduril. It's about the ripple effect they create, maybe turning Ohio into a center for advanced manufacturing and defense technology for the whole country.
Exactly. And that has implications for the future of the U.S. military, too. By having this kind of cutting-edge technology and manufacturing closer to home, Anduril helps the U.S. stay competitive globally.
This is a really fascinating time for Ohio and the defense industry as a whole. Anduril coming to Ohio is definitely something we need to keep an eye on. But with all this promise, there must be some challenges with such a big project.
You're right. For instance, how will Ohio handle so many new workers coming in?
Good point.
They'll need housing, infrastructure, education. All those things have to be addressed for this kind of rapid growth.
It's not just about making jobs. It's about making sure people can live well and be part of the community.
Exactly. And on the national security side, there are questions about how this tech will be used, what it means for global stability.
Right. How do we make sure it's used responsibly?
As we explore these complicated issues, we have to think about the ethical and geopolitical consequences of this technological leap forward.
It's not just about the cool new technology. It's about making sure it's developed and used in the right way.
Absolutely. We need to have these discussions now to ensure that Anduril being in Ohio is a good thing for the state, the country, and the world.
I totally agree. That's what we're aiming to do here, provide a balanced look at this development and get people thinking critically about its potential impact.
By talking about these things, we can hopefully help shape a future where technology is used responsibly and ethically to make things better for everyone.
You know, with all this talk about jobs and tech, I can't help but think about the people who already live in Ohio, the folks in those communities.
Yeah, it's a really important point. We need to make sure this benefits everyone, not just a small group.
Right. It has to be inclusive. What about affordable housing?
Exactly. That's key. And access to education and training, support for local businesses too.
It's about making sure this growth is sustainable. The people who call Ohio home should be part of this boom, benefit from it.
Absolutely. And that takes planning. The government, businesses, community groups, they all have to work together.
It's a big task.
It is. There needs to be a real commitment to fairness, making sure everyone has opportunities.
There's a lot going on, but it feels like there's a real chance to get this right. Ohio could set an example for how to do economic development that works for everybody.
I think so too. This could be a model for the whole country.
And Anduril coming to Ohio is a chance to build a better future, a future that's more resilient, fairer, and technologically advanced, not just for Ohio, but for the entire nation.
I agree. It's a pretty unique opportunity.
So we've covered a lot of ground. We talked about the scale of what Anduril is doing, why they chose Ohio, the possible economic and tech benefits, and the importance of thinking about the social and ethical side of things too.
We've explored a lot of different angles. It's a complicated story.
It shows just how powerful technology can be and how we need to be thoughtful and inclusive when it comes to economic development. We need to make sure it benefits everyone.
Absolutely.
Going forward, we have to keep watching how things develop, keep having these conversations, and making sure that whatever good comes from this project is shared in a way that lasts.
And most importantly, we can't stop asking the tough questions. How do we use technology to create a future that's more just and equitable for everyone? That's something we all need to be thinking about.
Absolutely. That's a question we'll definitely keep coming back to as this story continues. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been great discussing this with you. Until next time, everyone, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep learning.